But yeah, actually, funny enough, I was actually legitimately going to be going to bring up my my new song and music video. Yeah, it's a nice little jammer that I concocted. Mine's Adrift. Before I began making the song, I was heavily inspired by bands and artists like Tori Moi, Neon Indian, and also just a little bit of Animal Collective as well, and I guess a little bit of Tame Impala, and a slight touch of another band, Phoenix. The lyrics in the song, I think it's meant to be like me trying to overcome, for the most part, overcoming my paranoia and my panic attack from what happened last year. And not only that, me trying to deal with some of the things that don't really go my way and kind of feeling like I was on the verge of quitting. You probably might also notice that in the outro on one of the verses where it says, maybe I'll wait for a better tomorrow. That's me just trying to be at least a bit hopeful. I've written songs that have depressing lyrics, but with music that just sounds like a club party kind of song. Like, for example, my song Amissa, the song has such a dancey, kind of like funky disco-ish kind of vibe. Meanwhile, the lyrics are about my pessimism. I sometimes do tend to do that whenever I write songs. Like, I make such dark, depressing lyrics. In contrast, I add like a nice funky or whatever kind of vibey beat over it, because let's be real, not many people focus on the lyrics. For the most part, people are very infatuated with the music that they just tend to disregard the lyrics. Oh yeah, not to mention my other song, Gen Eric, even though it has like a nice little synth poppy kind of disco-ish vibe, meanwhile the song is basically me criticizing the music industry, like me criticizing the industry that they just brainwash their listeners. But yeah, I do tend to kind of have like opposite contrast with each other, kind of like it's like my own kind of yin and yang of the kind of music I tend to write, because I feel like when it comes to how I express, I'm not writing music just for the sole purpose of like trying to come off as like very happy, but in an extremely cheesy way. I feel like it's mostly just me of how I am when I'm in touch with reality, and reality to me is just a cold and dark and kind of bleak scenario for me, and that's basically kind of like the most part of how I tend to cope with things. And I would also like to put in like a factor that that one of the bands that inspired me to write lyrics that are dark with very bright instrumentation. The band that inspired me to do so is They Might Be Giants. And that's a band that me and Hoshi tend to bounce off of because we both vibe with their songs. And noting the fact that they have very specific kind of like writing in their music that is like very dark, but it's approached in a way that's meant to be tasteful, but with some instrumentation that is very bright and something that you can like vibe, or well, not just vibe, but dance along to. I feel like that's where I've mostly gotten my inspiration for like the majority of the songs I've written. Yeah, because let's be real here, not everything is sunshine and rainbows and kittens and candy and fucking hentai women. Not everything is positive.